welcome to actually the first Ramble video on the channel. And the first topic I'm gonna talk about is learning where to draw the line when you're playing a hardcore. Just before I start, I would like to say that this is a Ramble video, which means there is going to be something on the screen, but it's not particularly interesting. So feel free to just listen to me and have the video in the background somewhere. So learning where to draw the line while playing as a hardcore. If you don't set yourself pretty basic or set in stone rules of where do you draw the line and take safety over efficiency for your character, you might end up wasting seconds on decision making in crucial times, or deciding on a risk that you didn't thoroughly calculate, and you might end up losing your account. Not to a traditional disconnect where people mostly lose it, but just because of your miscalculation of the risk. What I mean by miscalculation of the risk is, I think, when you're starting your adventure as a hardcore Ironman, for example, you are low on supplies, you're low on food, you're obviously low on hit points, so every hit point matters. And when you get to that mid levels, you get prayer potions. So the first sin, let's call it, of hardcore Ironman is you want to try to be greedy with your food and prayer potions. On a main, on a regular account, on regular Ironmans, or even on alts, dying doesn't punish you as much. Ultimates lose everything they own, but you don't lose your status, which is, well, let's just say it's worth probably more than everything you own on your account if you're really into playing hardcore. So if you're being greedy with food or prayer potions, you are, for example, on a task or doing a quest and you have a long way back to the bank, so you try to, oh, I'll only heal when I'm on red or orange HP, or I don't really need that prayer potion, I can tank a hit or two, even if the quest boss you're doing is several times your combat level. You have to learn where to draw the line. You have to set it up in your mind beforehand and decide, maybe if I'm low on food or prayer potions, I can stop this task in half, or just make a trip to the bank and play it safe. Even if I come back and kill like 10 monsters or 7 monsters of the task, even if the task has 100 monsters, even if the quest takes like 5 minutes to bank and go back, just why don't you take those 5 minutes, take the task longer, get less experience per hour, but save your account from death, from a potential death. Don't be greedy with your prayer if the enemies is stronger. Don't be greedy, especially when there are lags. When you feel a lag once, it might be your internet, sure, but we all know that Jagex servers are not the most stable of all, especially if you disconnect. Why would you continue doing dangerous quests then? Why would you continue doing Slayer? Why would you continue doing barrows or bossing? Do a clue in Wieldy. Just, if you set your line, this is the moment I quit, I teleport back, okay, I really wanted to do Slayer today, or boss, or PVM, but okay, I lagged once, and I think I'm done. I think I will do some crafting, or fishing, or cooking, some safe skills, and maybe it will be better in an hour. Maybe that was just one lag. Maybe it was just once. You can marginalize it and say, this was just lag once, it won't happen again, and go to Zami boss and he would wipe the floor with your face. Or you could say that, hey, this is a lag once. Maybe it was my internet, maybe it was jagex servers. I don't care. I'm going to fish for 10 minutes, and if I don't get lag again, I think I'm sure to go. And a rule I use for myself, and maybe it will be a good rule for you too, is if you disconnect even once, you don't, or I don't do any PVMing for the day. On topic and continuing being greedy, especially with time, because we talked about supplies and about having fun or doing what you want, which you can't do what you want on hardcore Ironman every time, especially when the servers are lagging. But also we have to talk about being greedy with your time. Usually when skilling, things like tick manipulation or just general efficiency are good, and if you're into that and you're not particularly bored when like 3-tick fishing or doing granite or whatever, this is good, and most importantly it is safe for your hardcore, so you can do that however you want. But being efficient in time during combat usually takes some risks with it, and what I mean by this very long and maybe not very thought process is being greedy with your teleports. Being a smart hardcore, you probably carry your ectophile, your one-click teleports, your house tabs with you, so anything happens you can just click it and teleport away, right? It's like a safety button, except you don't press it. I'm sure you've had situations like this. You're killing a monster, you're out of prayer, or you're out of food, and you decide to risk it. Okay, I'll have 40 HP and I'm tipping away. Okay, he's close. Maybe I'll TP at 30. 25? 20? 10? Ring of Life can save you, but it might not save you every single time. Especially the higher level you get, or the less HP you have, the margin where it works, it's harder to hit. And when you're not teleporting away on a set margin, you will keep pushing that health margin, that health level, where you're pressing that emergency teleport, and it can lead to pretty risky situations. What if you lag when you set the bar down to as low as 15 HP? What if you lag just for a second, and that's enough for the NPC, for the monster to have one more hit at you and you're dead? What if you miscalculate or misremember the monster's max hit and it actually hits you? Make sure to know the monster's max hit and set up your emergency teleport above it. And the last thing is maybe more long term or macro in drawing the line of the goals on your account. I played very safe. I decided to play it very safe from the beginning, and as I'm rewatching Madkip's first episodes of his hardcore, he said something that really struck me hard.
And I'm going to say this right from the start, but assuming that I stay hardcore, I won't ever be getting the quest cape. And I have it on my main, and I am not doing Monkey Madness 2 ever again, mainly because of the high risk of death.
Maybe you don't need that quest cape or Barrow's gloves. Maybe having a Ardoin cape teleport other teleports instead of a quest cape, and dragon gloves, which are 9 strength I think, compared to Barrow's gloves, which are 12. Is the fight that where you can't teleport from and desert treasure, is the +3 strength bonus really worth it? Worth the risk? What if you DC in the fights during killing a romancer? You can't teleport out, not even your Ring of Life will save you. Draw the line during your adventures, or even before, during your development, not in a split second, but before venturing to that goal. Will I do desert treasure at this account? Or when you hit the Rex requirements, I could do desert treasure now, but maybe I should wait. Maybe don't eliminate it completely, but maybe just wait until you're way over the level it requires, maybe don't do it with 50 HP, but wait for 90 plus and a lot of prayer and good melee stats. And when you have an abundance of supplies that are overskilling the difficulty of the monsters, and then do it. I would like to hear your opinion, guys, on how else can you draw the line, or playing hardcore Iron Man the generally safe way. Maybe you don't have to be reckless or risk too much. Maybe you could take all the safety precautions and still do risky stuff. You just have to think about it before it happens. Thank you for watching.